Boys and girls, this is the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and you're listening to Going In Raw, baby.
Hey guys, this is Charlotte, and you're watching Going In Raw. Going In Raw. That sounds terrible.
What's up, it's your girl Sasha Banks, the legit boss, and you are watching Going In Raw. You like that?
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. And available wherever podcasts can be found. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notify bell next to it to make sure you're always getting your new Going In Raw notifications. We're also available on the Patreon at patreon.com/Steve and Larson. We got a couple new patrons.
We do.
And at $1 a month, you get yourself a shout out right here on the show. So we'll give a couple shout outs right now to some new patrons. Let's see here. We had, the Straight Edge Savior of Misbehavior, Pac-Man, LeVar Ball's next cousin, Bradley Dover, Brian Van Duser, Steve Duffy, James Sherset, El Hijo de Larson, a.k.a. Lardon Jr., TNA for Life is back, and Gigi Franco. Thank you all.
Thank you
For your patrons. It goes a long way towards helping Going In Raw.
Thank you so much.
We got a bunch of great rewards over there on the Patreon. Be sure to check them out.
Yes.
So, Fastlane 2019
is in our rearview mirror.
Is in the book. That's good. I can't call it fast lame this year.
No, it wasn't terrible. It just felt largely and basically completely unimportant.
It was a very, very middle of the road pay-per-view.
Like on a match-by-match basis, you can't complain about necessarily the matches. They're all relatively well wrestled.
All the matches are actually like. Were there any? So the Mandy Rose Asuka match was kind of a turd. There's a lot of good matches here.
It just most of the outcomes felt obvious. Not a whole lot of surprises in store. Even the heel turn that happened during the course of the evening, we called a couple weeks back as most likely happening. There just wasn't a whole lot of surprises. I didn't feel like there's a whole lot of consequence. Even the one major stipulation for the Becky Charlotte match, we called that.
This is all stuff that could have and should have happened on Raw and SmackDown, as opposed to an actual pay-per-view.
Yes,
being the venue for that.
So, which actually would made for some decent Raw and SmackDown television.
That's kind of where you want like the story beats to happen. Like these kind of story beats. Pay-per-views are for like outcomes.
And then like the rhythm of the show felt really choppy. Our Elimination Chamber felt like a really well put together, seamless, entertaining 3-hour-ish pay-per-view.
Yeah. There
was no fat to it, no filler.
Yeah.
It just went from match to match to match, and the rhythm felt right. This felt really choppy. I don't know. I felt like there was a lot of, like there's promos and stuff, and all the stuff with Elias. It felt like too much.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I'd classify this as definitely a middle of the road pay-per-view. So falling somewhere in between yay or nay.
Yeah.
But I mean, it didn't leave me with yay. So you know, it is what it is.
I mean, I guess they progressed the story beats they needed to get the matches they wanted at Mania.
Yeah, there's zero reason. There's zero reason for one pay-per-view between Rumble and Mania, let alone two. I don't know why they have the second one.
I don't know.
I mean, like you said, Chamber was a good pay-per-view.
And it was a good show.
You can always use a Chamber for like number one contender for the match that wasn't
the Rumble winner.
The Rumble winner, exactly.
And this year we had the women's tag titles determined.
Yeah, Chamber actually meant something.
Yeah,
Chamber meant something.
Yeah, it did.
This kind of doesn't.
No.
But I mean, we do have some more solid ideas as to what to look at for WrestleMania, even if they're not fully formed ideas. We kind of get a lay of the land. So let's just go through it.
Yeah.
Kickoff show.
Before we begin, there was a change on the kickoff show. There was supposed to be Andrade versus Rey Mysterio going down the kickoff show. That got changed to a fatal four-way for the U.S. title. Rey and Almas, along with champion Samoa Joe and R-Truth, and that was going to take place on the main card as opposed to the kickoff show. So there's only one kickoff show match, Nakamura and Rusev versus The New Day.
Yeah.
Before this match, one of the PAs or the stagehand, whatever, went up to The New Day and told Kofi, hey, McMahon family wants to talk to you about tonight's WWE title match. So, of course, Big E and Xavier Woods like, go. Get in that match. Do it. We'll take care of our business.
Yeah.
That happened right before their match.
Yeah, so we had Nakamura and Rusev versus New Day. I mean, it was a fun enough match. But again, like you said, with the understanding that here's the thing, like Rusev and Nakamura, they kind of need a win at some point.
Yes.
To justify remaining together as a team.
And like why they were both going for that U.S. title. R-Truth got it. And then they were unified for their mutual desire to be U.S. champion. That was the whole reason for their partnership in the first place.
Yeah.
And then now they're completely sidetracked from any pursuit of the U.S. title.
Yeah, and yet they're still together as a team. That doesn't really make a whole lot of sense.
Storyline-wise.
But they were going after the New Day, so whatever. But, I mean, the match was what it was. It was fine. It was a fun match.
Yeah, it was fine. There was this, towards the end, New Day go for up, up, down, down. Rusev distracts the ref, and Lana, who still has the walking boot on, pulls Xavier Woods off the top rope and kind of wish she had used that walking boot as some sort of weapon.
Yeah, because, I mean, the gag was she was completely mobile with the walking boot on.
Yeah, she's had that since Rumble.
Yeah.
Which is way too long for a sprained ankle.
But she needs to, like, use it as a weapon.
Yeah. At no point she was ever in a cast either, was she? It's always been walking boot. If that was a broken ankle, that'd probably require a cast.
Yeah.
So it's a sprained ankle. You don't need anything like that for a sprained ankle.
Yeah.
For 2 months.
Sometimes they just don't pay attention to real logic in WWE. And when I say sometimes, I mean most of the time.
Rusev hits a Mosca kick on Big E. Xavier Woods comes in, breaks up the pin. Xavier Woods goes for a tope. Rusev and Nakamura catch him, hit him with like a power bomb ringside, put him back in the ring. Rusev puts him in the accolade. And there's this pretty funny spot where Nakamura was talking trash. Xavier Woods grabs the rope, was pulling it away from him while Xavier was trying to get to the ropes. That's pretty good. Anyways, Big E grabs him and tosses him to the timekeeper's area. And in the end, New Day pick up the win with up, down, down. They get the W.
Yeah. I mean, I was kind of surprised. Like, we both sort of figured once this match was made, it's like, okay, well, it makes sense for Rusev and Nakamura to pick up the win here. New Day, they don't have Kofi with them. That would maybe affect their chemistry a little bit.
Well, the whole idea that, his fate as far as being put in the match.
They could be distracted
by that,
Yeah, and then it's like Rusev and Nakamura, they're not chumps.
No.
So, and they, like I said, they really need this win.
Yeah.
They need a win. They need something. They need something.
Like, imagine if during the match on the Titantron, we cut to Mr. McMahon's office where he's talking to Kofi, and New Day get distracted by that.
Yeah.
And Nakamura and Rusev pick up a win that way.
Yeah. And then even the McMahon stuff was really weird.
Vince should not be on camera. He's super awkward.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't know what to do with his hand. He had his phone in one hand. He didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
That just took me out of the whole thing. It was obvious that he had no idea what to do with his hands.
The show started with Shane McMahon and The Miz.
Co-besties.
Versus the Usos. Of course, they're in Cleveland, Miz's hometown. He got a big ovation. His dad was there.
Sitting ringside. George.
Miz
especially had all sorts of Cleveland Browns inspired gear.
Draped in Cleveland attire.
Yeah. Orange and brown.
Drew Carey shirt on.
No.
Didn't have that.
Drew Carey. No Cleveland Rocks.
No Cleveland
Miz.
Rocks? Bummer. Are you a Drew Carey show fan?
Mm-mm.
Me neither.
I don't think I've ever really watched a full episode. I don't even like him on The Price is Right either.
Really?
No.
Oh, I kind of like him on Price is Right.
No.
Because he's like skinny and weird looking now.
No, it's like I couldn't really. I like Steve Harvey, and who was the guy that replaced Richard Dawson? What was his name? Ray Parks.
Ray Combs.
Ray Parks was the guy that was Darth Maul.
True.
Yes.
Ray Combs. Ray's yeah.
I like both of them.
Ray Liotta is the Chantix guy.
Yes, I know. Also Henry Hill and Goodfellas. Yes, I'm aware.
Yeah.
But Richard Dawson, he was the face of Family Feud, and I kind of feel like
Bob Barker.
Bob Barker is so synonymous.
Yeah.
With The Price is Right. It's just weird not having on there. It's like, Alex Trebek, he just said that he's got pancreatic cancer.
Oh yeah, stage 4. It's terrible.
Terrible. And
cancel Jeopardy. When he's gone, just kidding.
That's what I'm talking about.
I don't want anybody to replace him.
Yeah.
Nobody.
He is synonymous with that show.
Unless it's like Daniel Day-Lewis or something.
Yeah,
that'd be killer. Wouldn't that be killer?
He's going to take his break from carpentry to co-host a game show.
That'd be amazing. You did not phrase your answer in the form of a question. I just have him doing Daniel Plainview
the whole time. Anyways, kind of the story of this match was Miz was going all out to impress his dad and to win the match. So he's doing all sorts of stuff he'd never done before, namely doing all sorts of moves up the top rope.
Yeah, right.
and predictably, it ended up costing his team the match. Started out pretty early on where Miz goes to the top rope, hits the top rope crossbody, the Usos on the outside. Later on, he goes for a second rope crossbody. Instead, he eats stereo super kicks from Usos. He hits the skull-crushing finale on Jimmy. And this is all after Shane started the match and got worked over pretty good by the Usos. Miz hits a skull-crushing finale on Jimmy, but Shane is laid up, so the ref is over checking on him. So he's late to make the count. Jimmy kicks out. There's this great spot where
This was awesome.
Where Jimmy's in the corner, so Shane goes to his corner to go for coast to coast. Jay gets on his corner, the opposite corner where Jimmy is, and is like, "Don't do it," because Miz is put on the ring. Jay wants to go do the splash on Miz to finish the match. Shane wants to hit coast to coast.
I liked it. It was a bit of a a Mexican standoff. Well, Mexicans, it was between three people. They all got guns at each heads. But it was a standoff where Shane was like, "If you do that, I'm going to do this."
Yeah.
And Jay and Jimmy or whoever it is, if you do that, I'm going to do this. And so Shane hit coast to coast midair on wait, I'm sorry, who was Jimmy? No, Jay. Jay going for
so he drop kicks him out of the air pretty much.
Yeah.
Off the top rope.
It was a sick move.
It was pretty cool.
It was very, very well done.
After that, Miz eventually goes for a frog splash, which wasn't that bad looking actually. Jay gets his knees up, rolls up Miz for the win. Of course, Miz heartbroken, disappointing Papa Miz.
Yeah.
Ringside.
Crowd was not happy about that.
Shane seemed like, it's all right. It's cool. It happens. They go over to Papa Miz, give him a hug, celebrate a little bit. They all raise arms because even in defeat, Miz put forth a great showing.
Yeah.
They start to walk away from Papa Miz, and Shane just destroys Miz from behind the vicious
clothesline
lariat.
And then he starts kicking his literal face.
Yeah.
He starts stomping his face.
This is
awesome.
the stiffest strikes from Shane.
It was pretty brutal.
Since the 90s.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal looking.
He was really going after him. And then he goes over to Papa Miz, starts yelling at Papa Miz like, "Hey, this is your son." Grabs Papa Miz by the face, pushes him back.
Yeah.
And then goes back to Miz and starts beating him down some more.
Yeah.
Bunch of heel heat on Shane.
So Shane leaves. Finally, security lets Papa Miz go tend to Baby Miz.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's your Mania match. That's kind of obvious, right?
Yeah, we
there.
saw that coming a mile away.
We saw that happening. Shane's gonna go in that a heel. Miz, I'm fine with Shane as a heel as long as he's not in exercising authority role.
Exactly.
Doing stuff affecting other storylines. I'm totally fine with it.
Totally.
And
sorry, go ahead.
That's a match that I don't see. I know that they like Shane at WrestleMania. God, he's been back for 3 years now. He did AJ,
third, and then before that, he did Undertaker. No, sorry. It was last year. He teamed up with Daniel Bryan against Owens and Zayn.
Right.
Then it was AJ, and then it was Undertaker. So this will be his fourth since he's been back.
Jeez, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
It's hard to believe. It's been 4 years. It's crazy. 2015.
Wait, Shane?
Yeah.
Shane had a Taker match?
In Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania? That was the whole reason he came back.
Oh, I blocked that from my memory. Oh, that's right. Oh, my God. I can't believe they did that. Golly. Man.
Anyways, next.
Gee whiz.
Drew Barrett and Bob Lashley did a Shield-inspired promo where they picked the camera off the ground and spoke to it.
Boy. I can't believe they did that. I had totally forgot all about that.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Anyways.
Yeah.
Let's move past that now.
Yeah, so there's a Shield-inspired promo from Drew, Barrett, and Lashley saying that they're the new dominant force. They are where the power lies. They're the new Shield, essentially.
Is that when Vince called The Undertaker a biatch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when Undertaker said, "Legacy."
Yeah. They had Shane fight him.
These. Held his dukes, his hands.
These, yeah.
Back of the ring, Elias, there's these 3 times where he just shows up in the ring to sing songs about what had just happened. This first one, he was just talking trash about The Miz.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was kind of lame, to be honest.
Yeah, again, it feels like stuff that should have been a Raw or SmackDown. I guess in this case, Raw. Next, match for the SmackDown Women's title, Mandy Rose versus Asuka. Mandy Rose is one of the best-looking jumping knees in the business.
Yeah, she has a great-looking V-trigger.
Yeah, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
Sonya Deville tried to distract Asuka on numerous occasions throughout. And towards the end of the match, she lifts up the apron skirt.
Very sloppy.
Yeah, pulls out a kendo stick, Asuka reverses an Irish whip attempt by Mandy and then sends Mandy towards a rope. Mandy steps on this is what it's supposed to be, the skirt of the apron.
And slips.
Eats a kick. Asuka picks up the win and retains.
Yeah, and then of course they tease a little bit of
the
issues between Sonya Deville.
It was
and
kind
Mandy
of a
Rose.
clunky way though to get the finish they wanted.
Yeah, I feel like it's been a couple hours since that happened. They should have that all. It's like, hey, look, simple mistake. Now I know not to do that.
Here, let's go get a donut together. We'll work it out.
It'll probably be like a Mania match or something.
I know. Like I thought that was going to be a situation where Sonya was gonna, like hit her with the kendo stick, try to hit Asuka since the ref's back was turned to the whole situation.
Yeah.
And accidentally hit Mandy, but no, Mandy just slipped on the.
And everybody was just confused. Like,
the skirt
really?
of the
That's
apron.
the finish?
Yeah.
Asuka needed that. Needed a slip of the apron to beat Mandy Rose. That's kind of lame.
Yeah, it is kind of lame. Next, we have Kofi waiting outside of the McMahon family's office. New Day walk up to him, and Kofi's, I've been waiting here ever since that PA told me to come back. And they're like, it's been an hour plus.
This was so awkward because Vince was like, I've been waiting for you to come in. Where have you been? I've been waiting for you. It's been an hour.
And then Kofi's like, no, I've been waiting to come in for
the
an
New
hour.
Day are like, he's been waiting here for an hour. He's waiting for you. And it's stuff like that I don't know. Is Vince just sort of goofing his way through these things?
I think so.
It kind of feels like that, huh?
Yeah.
I don't need a script.
But he's got no comedic timing anymore.
Exactly. And there's no reason for any comedy here.
No.
And it just throws off the other people. This isn't the first time he did this either.
I feel like every time he's on camera, he does this.
Right, exactly.
He's so awkward now.
Yeah, it's weird.
So because they come in, he's on his phone, sitting down. So he stands up, and so he's got one hand kind of like this. The other hand with his phone, he's doing. Like he's trying to slyly put his phone in his pocket or something. But
Yeah.
he's got like maybe those fake pockets on his suit on the
Yeah.
outside or something like that. So he can't do that. So he doesn't know what to do with his phone. His phone's just hanging out. Doesn't know what to do with it. And that's why I can't stop watching him just fiddle with his damn phone the whole time.
Yeah.
While he's trying to figure out what he's supposed to do, and he's being awkward as all heck, saying, well, I've been waiting for you for an hour. It's like, damn it, Vince. Like, stay on script, man.
We don't need him on TV anymore, man.
No, put your phone in your pocket, your pants, damn it.
Just throw it away. Just
I know, toss it on the couch. Throw
yeah.
it to a PA. Anyways, Xavier Woods and Big E implore Vince, put Kofi in the match tonight.
Yeah, they said you've had a legend, a box office legend standing here for 11 years right in front of you. It's time to use them.
Yep.
And he said, all right, you're in the match. It's up next. Get out there. It's a triple threat now.
New Day, you're banned from ringside.
You guys are banned from ringside.
So Kofi goes down to the ring. Everybody's hype. Everybody's super excited. Someone from the timekeeper area goes over to the ring announcer and starts talking to him. And he's all confused. Like, what? All right, fine. I'll announce it. And he says, well, the WWE title match, that's happening later. Instead, Kofi's going to be in a handicap match against The Bar.
Yeah.
So enter The Bar.
Yeah.
So it's all swerve.
And, of course, they beat the crap out of him. He is able to get a little bit in here and there, but basically just...
And there's this part where Sheamus hits him with a bro kick. Cesaro goes for the pin. Nope. Pulls him up. Sheamus sets up another bro kick. New Day run down, try to make the save, but then they're intercepted by Nakamura and Rusev. They're laid out. And then the Bar pin Kofi after their finish type move.
Yeah. So that happened. You got to appreciate this, though, because, I mean, I get McMahon. He was, look, number one, I've said this before. I said this during the live stream today. When you have McMahon in your storyline and you're the face, it's probably a good thing. So he's definitely going to get that match at Mania. He's going to get the title at Mania, too. So that's awesome.
He's at least going to get the match.
Yeah. But this, obviously, I think it was probably done for a couple. Number one, obviously, to get, the crowd more behind Kofi, give him the underdog thing. Also, I wonder if it was sort of done as a way to gauge, what's that crowd reaction going to be like during the match? It said during the actual title match. And sure enough, the crowd came alive with Kofi chants.
Yeah.
I mean, the competitors in that match was actually so good that by the end, the crowd just sort of cared more about the match than anything.
Yeah. I felt like there's at least one Owens chant during the main event, not main event, WWE title match. And another one I thought I heard, but it might have either was drowned out by Kofi chants or just I was confused and it was Kofi chants. I don't remember exactly, but I felt like there was at least one Owens chant during the WWE title match.
Yeah, Kevin Owens is in a weird spot right now.
He really is. Well, both he and Mustafa Ali are.
Yeah, Owens is in a bit weirder of a spot though, because like Mustafa Ali, like I don't know. I guess whatever storyline they had planned for Kofi, they might have been, obviously probably was going to go for Mustafa Ali.
Yeah.
I'm not sure to what extent though, if he was going to end up, because I doubt they would have done a Mustafa Ali title match at Mania.
No, I think the idea was Ali up to Fastlane and then Owens for Mania.
Yeah, I think that was probably going to be the case. But Kevin Owens, because of the Kofi Kingston thing, that all the face heat around the WWE title is with Kofi Kingston. And because we didn't get a Kevin Owens on camera going from heel to face directly, he's just in a weird spot. And even character-wise, he feels kind of awkward because he's got to deal with this Kofi thing. He's obviously trying not to, and creative maybe behind him, I don't know. They're trying not to steal Kofi's thunder?
No, the whole time Kevin Owens saying, like, yeah, Kofi totally deserved the spot.
Yeah.
But what am I to do when presented with an opportunity? I can't say no to it.
He's just very apprehensive.
He's very diplomatic.
Yeah. But, of course, in the ring, he's like a total face badass.
Yeah,
it's great.
He wants to win,
Dropping
totally, yeah.
Stunners, so.
Yeah, it's great. After Kofi's loss to Thebar, we get a Sasha and Bayley interview.
Yeah, it was a very babyface interview, and they're kind of overbearing when it comes to their faceness. Yeah.
Next, another Elias song. This one talking trash about Kofi. The thing about these Elias things, I know they did two of them to build up to the eventual one where he gets interrupted. Still, it was weird. He'd do his little song, and then it would just fade to black, and they'd go to an ad.
Yeah, it's awkward.
It made the pacing of the show really off.
Yeah.
After that, we had an interview, or an attempted interview, where Kayla went backstage, wanted to ask Shane a question about what he was doing.
So do you think he had just showered? Or was
the
he
shower
just,
didn't stick?
Or was he just really sweaty and he
From
hadn't
his
showered
match.
yet?
I think he hadn't showered yet.
Interesting.
I don't think he took a shower and it didn't stick. I think he just hadn't showered at that moment. That's the worst, I swear.
Oh, that's the worst.
I hate that so much.
That's the absolute worst, especially if you have to be somewhere. Because that's usually when you do it.
You take a shower, you rush, and you dry off, but then you're such a hustle to get ready and out the door that you kind of develop a brand new sweat.
And then, like, you can't find your keys, and that makes you sweat even more.
Yeah, I know, man. This is all anxiety.
Yeah, it's terrible.
After that, we had a triple threat match for the Raw Tag Team titles: Ricochet and Aleister Black versus Chad Gable and Bob Roode versus the Revival. It was a great sequence that eventually led to Ricochet hitting a shooting star press and only getting a 2 count.
Yeah,
there's some cool stuff there. Ricochet Frankensteiner's Dawson onto everyone else to the outside of the ring, and later on Ricochet jumped over the ring post.
This was a really fun match.
It was fun.
Yeah, that jumping over the ring post bit was awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And then Dawson eventually, though, pinned Gable after a Shatter Machine. As soon as the bell rings, end of match, Roode lays out the Revival, hits Glorious DDT on Dawson, and then Bob Roode eats a Black Mass from Aleister, and then Ricochet hits a 630 on Dash Wilder. Something tells me we're going to get this thing continuing on, at least between Ricochet, or with Ricochet and Aleister Black and the Revival, maybe a Mania match.
So we called every single one of these that we could possibly call.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always a problem. When there's no surprises, that's a problem.
Zero surprises.
We called this too. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. We knew. I mean, like,
and I even said during the stream, okay, now we're presented with this fatal 4-way, because the only toss up in my mind
was Ray Andrade.
I think I only gave that one confidence
Same
point.
here. Yeah, we differed on our pick. Yeah,
because it's like, okay, well, that's just a toss up.
Yeah.
But presented with this, we both would have said Mojo retains. Like, that's so obvious. But again, the match is both, the Revival one and then this fatal 4-way here. Killer matches.
Yeah.
Just killer matches.
Well, and also when Mustafa Ali was eventually added to the WWE title
match.
match.
Oh, killer match.
Just killer match, but I was like, okay, I know who's eating the pin now.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Next we had a fatal 4-way for the U.S. title: R-Truth versus Andrade versus Rey Mysterio versus Samoa Joe. Pretty early on, Joe lays out everyone's a suicide dive. Back in the ring, he starts doling out chops to everybody. Chop, 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 chop. Ray hits a double Rana on Almas and Truth. We see another one of those great spots where Ray hits the run off the top rope onto Almas, who's on R-Truth's shoulders.
Yeah,
I love seeing that. No Canadian destroyers in this match, though.
No.
Bummer.
No, there was a reverse run on Owens in the later match.
Yeah, from Ali, yeah. Joe hits a Uranagi on Ray, of course, how he won the title against Almas, or on Almas. But that pin attempt was broken up by R-Truth and Andrade. Andrade hits his hammerlock DDT on Ray. Truth breaks up that pin, too. Ray eventually hits a 619 on Joe, goes for a frog splash, misses. Joe locks in the coquina clutch. Ray passes out.
Yeah. Quickly, too.
Pretty quickly, yeah. So we're going to get... They didn't really do much to set up Ray almost for Mania in this match. Like, neither of these matches have been a situation where one cost the other the match or anything like that, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
I would suspect they're going to have a Mania match, and I would hope there'd be some sort of stipulation.
Well, here's the thing. Given that they were going to have a match at Fastlane, and this was changed at some point, probably in the last 48 hours.
Probably in the last 24.
Yeah, probably in the last 12.
Probably in the last 2 before the show started.
Right. Given all that, I mean, yeah, it's easy to assume that they're going to have a match at Mania. It's also just as easy to assume that, you know, they're going to be in the Battle Royal.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe they'll have their story there, and then they'll have a match on the following SmackDown. I don't know.
Yeah, or at Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, no, the Saudi Arabia show is early May.
Mm-hmm.
That's
yeah.
the pay-per-view after Mania.
I could see them wanting that match there, too.
Yeah, who knows?
But, yeah.
Next for the women's tag team titles, almost said Raw tag women's titles. Sasha and Bayley champions against Tamina and Nia Jax. Excuse me, it's got really congested.
Hold on a second. When was Rey Andrade announced for Fastlane?
Like a couple weeks ago.
Which probably mean I wonder if they came upon the Cena Joe thing, because that's probably going to be a thing. I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
I wonder if they came upon that after they announced Rey Andrade for Fastlane, and they were like, okay, well, let's get that belt on Joe at SmackDown, and then.
But Joe having that belt should have no bearing on their feud for the U.S. title, necessarily.
No.
Unless what you're talking about is the plan was to put the U.S. title on either Ray or Almas.
Yeah.
But then when they found out, Cena will do a thing with Joe, well, let's put the belt on Joe.
Yeah, that would seem to make sense.
Yeah, maybe.
All this stuff is just sort of coming into play. So yeah, after that we had Sasha and Bayley versus Tamina and Nia Jax.
Mm-hmm.
Again, like the finish to this, I mean, the match was what it was. Bayley and Sasha doing most of the work.
I mean, like the action for this was after the match.
Right, and that sort of leaves us with our question for WrestleMania. So, I mean, do we need to really go through this match?
No.
Bayley won with a roll-up.
Well, yeah, she hit a Hurricane Rana on Nia, and then, just rolled her up in the one motion with the Hurricane Rana afterwards to pick up the win. But then Nia and Tamina attacked right after the bell.
Right after the bell. So they're destroying Sasha and Bayley. Sasha goes, like, over the table. I forget what happens to Bayley, but Beth Phoenix, who was on commentary for the match, actually really good on commentary.
Yeah, she's really good.
She gets up, and she's sort of surveying the damage, and then she turns around and sees Tamina there, and she starts laying into Tamina, and if I lip read correctly, she was saying stuff like, you know, this isn't how it should be. We worked so hard to get to this point, and you're disrespecting the entire thing, the women's tag title she's talking about. And then Nia Jax comes, and then she lays into Tamina with a forearm. Nia Jax comes up behind Beth Phoenix and lays her out.
Mm-hmm.
Natalya comes down because now they're beating up on Beth Phoenix. So Natalya comes down to make the save. But Nia Jax and Tamina land Natalya as well.
Yeah.
So you get the feeling that maybe there's going to be some sort of
multi-team match.
Maybe, I guess.
Yeah, you have Tamina and Nia, Beth and Natalya maybe, and then Sasha and Bayley.
And then maybe you can even do a four corners and put Lita and
Trish in there, maybe.
Trish in there. Or, I mean, preferably one of the competitors from today.
Sky Pirates.
Yeah, Sky Pirates. Although I would actually, here's the thing, if you do a four-way match, you can give Sasha and Bayley plenty of time to just chill out, because I'd rather have that Sky Pirates match at TakeOver.
Yeah, that'd be cool too.
Because they'll give them time and they'll let them do cool stuff.
Yeah.
That'd be killer.
That would be cool. So maybe, I don't know, Iconics or something.
Yeah, the Iconics.
Someone like that.
The Iconics.
SmackDown team.
That'd
if not, Trish and Lita. After that, we got our WWE title match. They insisted on making it a triple threat, even though Kofi apparently was too beat up to compete. So in comes Mustafa Ali. There's this nasty spot where Ali's on the top rope. Daniel Bryan drop kicks him off, and Ali just goes flying into the barricade.
So this is the great thing about Mustafa Ali. He came out and crowd booed him because he wasn't Kofi Kingston. Because any crowd's going to do that.
Yeah.
By the end of the match, he had more than proved as to
People
why
love Mustafa Ali. He
shouldn't
puts
boo
on great
Mustafa
matches.
Ali. He's just great.
As a matter of course, he's one of the best wrestlers in the company.
On the planet.
Yeah, so he takes that bump, and instantly you're like, oh, man, this guy's the best. Later on, he misses a no 5-4. Owens hits a stunner on Ali. Daniel Bryan breaks up the pin. And then Owens hits him with a pop-up powerbomb. He kicks out. Ali's on the outside. Daniel Bryan goes for an apron knee. Ali evades. This is always on the apron, sorry. So Daniel Bryan runs to the ring post. Mustafa Ali gets on the top rope, hits a 450 onto the apron. Daniel Bryan rolls back in the ring. Ali goes for the cover. Daniel Bryan kind of kicks out, but Eric Rowan also pulls Daniel Bryan out of the ring. The Redwood's on the apron now.
Redwood.
So Ali and Kevin Owens take turns super kicking him, and then stereo super kick knocks him off the apron. Ali hits a Hurricane Rana on Rowan, sending him to the ring post, and then Owens lays him out with a tope, almost knocks his head off on the announce table in the process. Bryan then hits Owens the knee off the apron, goes to the top rope. Ali meets him up there. Bryan pushes Ali off the top rope. He does a flip, lands on his feet. Bryan tries to do a knee, misses. Ali gets back on the middle rope, does a tornado DDT ringside.
Yeah.
Great sequence.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Right after that, Owens hits a pop-up powerbomb onto the apron on Ali. And then Rowan tosses Daniel Bryan in the ring. Ali kicks out. And then the finish saw Mustafa Ali kind of jump on the second rope, go for the tornado DDT. He eats a knee plus midair.
Midair, it looked beautiful.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Awesome. It was great.
He eats the pin, takes the loss.
Yeah.
And afterwards, Eric Rowan hits his claw slam on Mustafa Ali. Yeah. Really fun match, probably the best match of the night.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I thought it was really, really, really strong. The crowd was super into it by the end. There was throughout the match there were Kofi chants, which I thought was great.
Yeah.
Crowd's doing their job. They're pushing Kofi for Mania. And I think that's great.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we got a really stellar match.
Yeah.
So.
Then if they want to do Daniel Bryan and Kevin Owens down the road sometime, once the Daniel Bryan Kofi Kingston feud is over with, they still have that one-on-one match in their back pocket whenever they want to do it.
I'm just kind of curious what they're going to do with Owens at Mania, unless they go with that triple threat. I mean, they could do that. They could do that.
Next, Charlotte versus Becky. Of course, Becky wins. She's in the Mania match against Ronda Rousey, along with Charlotte. If she were to lose, out of the picture entirely.
Yes.
And this went exactly as we thought it would.
Yeah. Ronda has been yapping away about wanting Becky in the match at Mania. And so basically all you have to do is tap Becky one time, and then Charlotte will get DQ'd. Becky wins. And she literally hit her one time, got into the corner. Because the whole match was all about, I don't know, it's probably like 7 minutes or so.
It was pretty short, but yeah, it was Charlotte going after Becky's knee and Becky doing whatever she could.
She's still hobbled. At one point, she gets Charlotte in the disarm, but Charlotte's able to get out of it.
And transition to the figure four, and that's when Ronda ran down the ramp.
She comes in, tags Becky once, gets over in the corner, sort of like throws the, you're running your mouth sign to Cleveland. And then
Becky gets up. She starts laughing. She thinks it's funny.
Yeah.
Charlotte's steamed.
Yeah. But Becky's now in the match at WrestleMania, and Ronda just sort of saunters off.
Yeah.
So, again, I mean, hey, you know what? Maybe, I don't know.
What?
All the pieces are just coming into place the way we kind of figured they would, you know?
Yeah.
So it is what it is. After that, I just thought it was funny. It was like, all you got to do is hit somebody once, and the other person DQ'd.
Yeah.
And that's what she did.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Exactly what happened.
Oh man. Last we had our last Elias song. After that, he was interrupted
talking trash about Becky Lynch. Yeah, he was interrupted by Lacey Evans. She does her Abe Simpson thing. And then Randy Orton out of nowhere hits an RKO on Elias. And then AJ Styles teleports to the ringside area, lays out Orton with a phenomenal forearm. There's your Mania match.
There you go.
Styles versus Orton. And then finally, main event, the wannabe Shield, Baron Corbin, Bob Lashley, and Drew McIntyre versus the reunited, apparently for the last time, Shield, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose.
How many times they mentioned Dean Ambrose isn't re-signing?
At least twice.
Pushing that one hard.
More than that. Before the match even started, they mentioned it twice during the course of the show, and then during the match, they mentioned it all the time.
Yeah.
Dean Ambrose is coming back. It's the last time they were happening.
Yeah. I am kind of surprised, although I wasn't paying the closest of attention to commentary. Did they give Renee Young that much crap about the fact that she's married to Dean Ambrose and he's not re-signing?
Corey Graves called her a fangirl at one point.
Yeah.
But no one ever said, they didn't try the interrogation thing. We're like, so why isn't Dean resigning?
Why isn't he resigning?
Why isn't he resigning?
Does he not like us?
You think he can get more money somewhere else and be happier?
Where is he going? Is he going to be all elite? What's that happening? Where is he signing?
Is he not elite enough for WWE? Is that what you're trying to say?
There are no greener pastures.
Only barren plains.
Yeah. This is actually a pretty fun match. The crowd was really into it. It was a really good crowd last.
It was a good crowd. This match, it took a while for it to build up, though, because early on, it didn't really have much heat. Once it descended into chaos, then it started getting fun.
I think that people are just tired of this teaming of Drew, Lashley, and Baron Corbin.
Because it's a pretty typical 6-man tag match for the first half of it or so. And it really didn't start. It really started kicking into gear when it was pretty much Roman and Baron in the ring, and then Seth and Dean were brawling with Drew and Bob Lashley all up and through the crowd.
And they ended up on the kickoff show set, which is kind of interesting because they had like a super crowd shot, a long shot basically, that illustrated where the ring was compared to where the kickoff show was.
It reminded me that one time where you glitched into the game and the character got shot out of the arena.
Yeah,
so
right.
we zoomed out this huge long shot. But the long shot, at first you don't realize that's the kickoff show set.
Right.
You're like, where is there debris in the back of the arena instead of seats? That's good money they're not making selling those tickets there.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, that's the set for the kickoff
It's
show.
actually, still, it's not it's good reasoning there. Like, why would they put that there? They could put that any number of places, the kickoff set, but apparently not.
Apparently not.
So anyways, the match, like you said, the back half of it, basically, Roman and Baron are in the ring, and then the other, Seth had this spot where he came running off some thing onto was it off the kickoff show table?
No, he was up in the stands. He went off the rail.
Oh yeah,
went off the rails.
Yeah.
The from the first row of the bottom bowl.
Yeah,
jumped off there onto everybody.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was cool.
And then we get the long shot, and the camera starts moving back towards the ring
as the glitched out character starts making his way through the crowd. Yes. Oh, that was so good.
Oh man,
that was NW Anderson.
Oh man, I forgot about him. Ooh, he's got to come back.
Yeah, but in the ring, it was some decent action between Baron and Roman. Roman ate Deep Six and End of Days. Managed to kick out of the Deep Six, and the Shield broke up the pin on the End of Days.
Yeah, at that point they were back.
Yeah, they were all back towards the ring. The wannabe Shield tried to set up for a powerbomb through the announce table. Of course, real Shield reversed all that. Ends up Drew McIntyre gets powerbombed through announce table.
Yeah,
and then back in the ring, they all kind of dole out finishers to Baron, culminating in a Shield triple powerbomb. Shield win. Roman pins Baron, his first match back. No Dean heel turn after the match.
Yeah,
all smiles.
Yeah,
all fist bumps.
They do the thing.
They really tried to milk it at the end, though, for some reason. Like Seth's doing this.
Well, no, it's funny because you keep on seeing Dean, he's pacing a lot because that's sort of his thing.
Yeah.
And every time he walks behind them, I'm like, oh, he's going to low blow somebody.
Or he's going to clock someone in the back of the head, something like that. Yeah,
exactly. But then, no, it didn't happen. So at Mania, we're either going to get Roman Baron or we're going to get Roman Dean. It's one of the two.
Probably Roman Baron.
Yeah, probably.
Based on how much they were the focal point of the 6-man tag.
Yeah. Makes you wonder what they're going to do with Dean at Mania then. Dean Drew, maybe?
Maybe.
That's a possibility, I guess.
Yeah, that's a win for Drew.
Yeah. Oh, I'm trying to think where all my confidence points are going to lie at Mania. Because Cena Joe's not necessarily a lock, is it?
No.
I don't think that's a lock.
I mean, Seth beating Brock's nearly a lock.
That's got to be, but it's Brock.
I know Vince could wake up on the wrong side of the bed that day and decide
I will
to keep that belt on
probably
Brock.
only put one confidence point on the Brock match because it's the Brock match.
No, I'll put more than that. I'll put like 5.
I don't even know about the Becky Ronda Charlotte match.
I wouldn't put a high. I mean, right now, if it's Kofi Daniel Bryan 1-on-1, that's not a ton of confidence points for me either. Because I could pull the thing where everybody wants Kofi to win, and they try to get more heat than Daniel Bryan by having him win at Mania, only
That's
for maybe Kofi to get it at another show.
Out of those 3 matches, the Universal title, the WWE Championship, assuming it's Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston, and then Becky Ronda Charlotte, at least 2 out of 3 are going to be face wins. They're going to be crowd pops.
Yeah. I just have a hard time believing that all 3 of them are going to be face wins, though.
Me too. But I kind of don't know which one is which.
The surest one, I feel like, is Seth beating Brock.
Probably Seth
That
Brock.
feels like the surest one. Unless Vince wakes up and is like, oh, Roman's healthy now. Let's keep that belt on Brock, and at SummerSlam have Roman beat him again.
That's a possibility.
That's a distinct possibility.
Always a possibility.
It's a distinct possibility.
He's weird like that, man.
I know.
Yeah. Well, tomorrow night should be kind of interesting. It should be interesting.
I hope so.
I mean, we're really on the road now. They only have
Full speed. 28 days. 27 days
the
starting
exit
tomorrow.
ramp coming up soon.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Final stretch, the home stretch.
So anyways, let us know what you guys think in the comments. Thanks again. If you're listening to this in the audio realm, please leave us a rating, review, or a comment. It really does go a long way towards helping the show. Like I said earlier, if you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button and the notify bell next to it. We have lots of content coming out on this channel, and you want to be notified as to when it comes out. So that's how you do it these days. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Till next time, we'll talk to you guys later.
Goodbye.
Be a part of Going In Raw today at patreon.com/Steve and Larson. Starting at $1 a month, you can enjoy Going In Raw ad-free, gain access to the daily 30-minute Going In Raw post show, exclusive merchandise, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description.